Good morning, everybody. How you doing? Welcome back to Soul Purpose Leaders. Today we have an amazing guest, and I am so happy and grateful to actually announce her today. And she's an amazing woman, and the whole point of this platform is actually shining bright, shining this light to every person, every human being who are looking or working on themselves and also want to shine bright to the other people who are looking for that guidance and support in their lives. Now, I love this because it's a place that different people are coming with different minds and different skills and ability in what they do in themselves. Now, today, I announce this amazing woman. Her name is Sophia Gordon, and she's a psychological life coach, empowering individual to rediscover who they are by creating a work-life balance, enabling them to put themselves first in their busy life schedule. Amazing. I love this. So I don't want to talk too much because I want her to share with us who she is, what the ideas she has in her heads and what is coming for her. So welcome, Sophia.
I am so excited to be here, and I really, really appreciate you reaching out to me and doing this because I'm excited. It's exciting to have these kind of conversations. So thank you so much. I'm really, really grateful as well. Yes, yes.
I am grateful too, and I'm so excited. I cannot wait to in kind of like going deeper in who you are. So,
Yeah.
first question.
Mhm.
Now, I would like to know when you're a teenager,
Mm,
okay, you just finished your sixth form,
yeah. Mhm.
and did you have a clear vision of your life, what's coming next?
I think so. I think by that kind of age, I knew that I wanted to, probably from like 10 years old, I knew that I wanted to give back to others. I knew that I had a strong like idea, but I didn't know in what sort of way. And I guess by finishing sixth form, I knew that I wanted to study psychology because I'd picked it up at A levels, and it was just fascinating to learn about the mind and try and understand people and kind of all of these things. So for me, like it was very clear that psychology was the way that I wanted to go. I didn't know exactly where I wanted to go with it, but I was like, I knew anything involved with helping others was where it needs to go. 100%. Yeah, 100%.
Wow, that's amazing. That's beautiful. And so you chose psychology to
Yeah,
go to uni, yes? This
yeah,
is the subject you wanted.
yeah.
Was it that what you expected at the beginning?
I think it's weird because when I went to uni, obviously the psychology degree, I didn't think I could do anything else. And looking back, I don't regret my choice. But actually, I don't feel like a degree kind of prepares you with the skills to work with people. It's like a lot of theory, a lot of like knowledge, but it doesn't give you these are the skills that you need to go and work like one to one with people. And I think you gain that a lot through working with people or gaining experience, which luckily my course was a 4-year course. So we had a year of like placements. So I got to work with people who are like victims of crime. I did was a research assistant for another period of time, and I think actually the degree is great for, I guess, for knowledge and as that part of it, but it doesn't give you the skills to go out and make connections with people. And I think that's something that I would say to anybody, like if you want to learn to develop those things, do it in different ways as well, like get the hands-on experience of working with others. Definitely. Yeah.
Beautiful. Thank you for that advice because a lot of people are either thinking about to maybe go and study or thinking about how to process their life. And this
Mhm.
is the one way of thinking and actually maintaining what they want in life. And so you graduated. Oh my goodness. Must have been so fun. And then what did you do just after your graduation?
Immediately after I finished, I went and traveled for a period of time for like a few weeks. It's the first time I'd ever been somewhere long haul. I went to like Bali, and that was like amazing, and those kind of things. And then I spent a few months kind of job hunting, and then the first job I got after being in university was a support worker for young people who'd been in care or who had been made homeless at like 16. So that was the first job that I did, and I really wanted to do it because I was like, young people, like input them now, they don't have problems later. Like, this is a really great opportunity, and I really loved working with that group. I also got to work with like young mums, so like people who are like teenage moms, and like helping them, support them, and all those kind of things. So that job was just, yeah, it was great. It was absolutely great. I really enjoyed that job. Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing. And so started your job, and now, so let's say, how many years did you do that job?
I did that job for about a year and a bit, just over a year, and then I've been in my current job 18 months now. Like, yeah, so this is my second job that I have now since university. So I graduated
Is it
3 years
the
ago
same?
now. No, I have a different
Is
job.
it
So
the same?
now, field, you mean?
Mhm.
Yeah, so I work now with adults who have anxiety and depression, so like mental health problems, and providing them therapy. So I guess that's more directly hands-on, if that makes sense, compared to like being a support worker role. So it's really nice to actually help people make significant changes in their life and really see things differently, which gives them a different outlook, which is great. Yeah.
That's wow, that's wonderful. And so after getting your degree,
Mhm.
make it work for yourself and for
Mhm.
others. Now you came to a point in your life. What made you change to say, I want a difference in my life right now?
To become a life coach, I guess, is that what you're asking, or in general? I think, as I said, like, I've known for a long time that I wanted to help others, but I think it's always been trying to find the right thing for me, because ultimately, like in the previous job that I had, it was great, and I felt like I had a great impact on others, but it also was a bit of at a cost, if that makes sense. The cost was that I worked long hours, I didn't have a great work-life balance, and that kind of left me in a place where I just felt a bit overwhelmed and stuck, and I just felt like I didn't know what was the best thing. And I think ultimately, and I guess it touches on what we're going to talk about as we go along, that like, you can't put yourself at the bottom. Like, do you know what I mean? It's a very like, you can't help others if you don't help yourself. And I kind of prioritized everybody else and everything else that was going on in my life, and I just felt like something's got to change. I can't keep doing that. And that's when I changed my job role. I started to learn, like, I wanted to become like a life coach. I studied, I invested in myself, and I think that's when the biggest change has come. And I think that's why I want to be a life coach, because there's so many people who are in a similar situation. They're stuck, or they are um, just prioritizing their family, their children, anybody else above themselves, and the cost is them. Like, the cost is you don't know who you are, you feel lost and you feel confused. And I want to help people, A, stop doing that if we can, because it's a bit inevitable, but B, like, just to help you give guidance and get through it quicker, because I felt like there was a period of time, a few months of my life where I was like, I don't know how to do that. And I think sometimes prevention is the best way forward. As we talked about before, if you can stop that before it gets to that place, that would be the ideal situation.
But a lot of people, they don't know sometimes that they're in that situation.
Yeah.
So how are we, and I'm saying are we because we're all human, how
Yeah.
are we going to understand or realize that,
Mm.
oh, I'm one of them, who, what Sophia is saying, it's actually me. So what is that they need to look out for?
I think, I guess constantly, like, feeling the need to be busy was one of the things that I used to do a lot. As like, keeping busy was the way of me trying to, I guess, manage my emotions. I think ultimately not valuing yourself and feeling like you have to give outwardly to others to have a value, I think. And that sounds odd, but it's like, it kind of presents like you just prioritize everybody else above yourself. So if someone needs you at any time of day, anytime, you'll go, and you won't question how that impacts yourself. And I guess in this world, we kind of come across as like, oh, that's selfless, or that's the right thing to do. But it's not right if you are constantly giving out to everybody else and there's nothing there for you. At the end of the week, you're like, oh, I don't even know what my week has been, or I don't know how I feel. And you can't tap into those emotions. You have extreme emotions about things and you don't know why. Like, yeah, I think there's a few like telltale signs. And I guess a lot, like you said, a lot of people are in that place and we're not even aware, because the culture's become, it's normal to overwork, it's normal to do stuff for other people. That's fine, and it's so not fine. And I'd like to stop people getting to the place where I was at. That would be the ideal situation. But yeah, maybe there's a few people who feel the same. Yeah.
I love that because it's true. What I was brought up and taught that that's the only way is to help other people and to ensure that other people come first. And for me, I used to do the same thing. And until I asked myself, because we have that belief that if I help so many people, I will feel fulfillment, I will feel abundance, I will feel good about myself.
Mhm.
But do
Yeah.
you really feel good about yourself? That's the
No.
thing, you know, and
No.
that's where the big telltale is, you know.
Yeah.
Ask yourself that. Do you feel good? But
Yeah.
then, okay, let's go, let's go out of that one. Now, they know, they've realized, okay, this is me.
Yeah.
What is the next stage for them?
I think the next stage for them is like starting to invest in themselves. So it's like either it could be someone like a coach to help facilitate you explore what you want, like, and open that space for you. Because I think you definitely, if you identify it, you can start working on yourself by like starting to do self-reflection, as you said, like, am I actually happy, or what makes me happy? Like those kind of questions. Because I remember at that period of time, I had a coach like maybe a couple of months after, well, oh, a while after feeling like that. And I remember the first time she was like, what do you want for your life? And I was like, you're asking me that question? Like, nobody's ever asked me that question. What do you mean? Like, I don't have to just give out to everybody else. So I think it's starting to ask those questions, and sometimes it's awkward and sometimes it's hard because you've never questioned it. But I think always reach out for other people in some way or form, because I think it's just nice to have someone else be there with you if you feel like no one else is in the same place, like a coach or therapy, any of those kinds of things. Just start slowly questioning yourself, as you said, and like investigating and like doing things for yourself. It will definitely come with, oh, I feel guilty, oh, I feel bad, like all of these things in the beginning, but it's worthwhile. And like the growth that I've seen in myself and compared to like that place I was at 3 years ago is stupid. It's just like, I don't even feel like the same person. I don't feel like the same person a year ago. Like, do you know what I mean? And that's come from
Um,
investing in myself, you know? Like,
that's beautiful. I love that. I also wanted to, okay, I'm a bit going into this more, but I just want to make it for people to in contact in connecting with themselves.
mm,
And I'm also, you know, I love this area so much, so I can't help myself. But
mm,
I want to ask you is that because we're already here talking about the self and we're
yeah,
talking about others. Now, how can a person know the difference of being happy with who they are or have that self-love, but
yeah.
also the difference of having a being selfish?
How can you tell the difference between the two? Yeah, I think that's
Yeah.
a tricky one, and it's a thing that a lot of people feel actually, and they're very like, oh, if I do this thing for myself, it makes me selfish. But it's actually like, it's that kind of analogy that people use where it's like, if you have a cup, you know, you can't pour out onto others if your cup is empty. It's as simple as that. So it's like, if you make time for yourself once a week, like, is the minimum. That's not selfish. That's just like self-preservation and self-care. And I think, I don't know where we went wrong as a society, that we've seemed like anything that you do for yourself is selfish, or doing what's right by you is wrong. And it's so confusing. But I think ultimately, like, if you are living a life where you are very unhappy and but everybody else is happy, that's not you investing in yourself. If you go out of your way to make other people unhappy to get what you want, that's probably something where the line is drawn about what's selfish and what's not okay. Like, so I don't think, you know, taking time back for yourself is selfish. I think it's needed, or you won't be able to continue. That's the truth of it. You can do these kind of behaviors for periods of time of your life, and then you get to a certain point and you're just like, I can't anymore. I just don't know how to do it anymore. It's just too much. Like, and it's not sustainable. So even if you're doing it now, unfortunately, it can't stay that way. Like, it's just not possible. It's really not. So
I think we accommodate other people's feelings
yeah,
before our own feelings.
yeah,
And we don't realize that when we accommodate other people's feelings, that means we actually ignore or dismiss our own feelings. And this is where we go wrong. But it's nothing that is like set in stone. These things can change at any time of anyone's life. And like Sophia is saying, get yourself a coach, get yourself a person that will help you and support you in this journey. You are not alone,
Mm-hmm.
guys. Okay, so this is the place, this is the time for you
Yeah.
to grow. Now, Sophia, tell me about the now you're going into, you're doing both, you're doing psychologist, you're doing also as a coach.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what is that you do in coaching? You're doing one-to-one, what else do you do?
Yeah. So I do have like one-to-one packages because obviously people would like to do that. At the moment, me and my colleague run a monthly workshop. So like for people who might not feel in a place where they, I don't know, they can afford like one-to-one coach right now, or they're not sure because they've never had it before. Because the truth is, we don't talk about the positive parts. We don't talk about the growth. We often wait till something's broken to try and fix it, and it's like, actually I could do a bit of self-development now and that will preserve me rather than doing the opposite. So we do once a month a workshop that's like £10, so it's such a low investment to start getting that space, like you said, that space to think and dream. Because for me, like as I said, I spent much of my life investing in others, but I didn't know how to think about me, like what do I want. Like I was very academic and I had a lot of hopes for my life and achievements, but like outside of that, like who was I, what does a happy life look like to me, all of these kind of things, I didn't know the answer to that. And it's only when I started to open it out that I did. So I guess in a coaching session, it's really allowing someone to think for them as a person first and dream, and allow them the space to be like, this is not selfish, this is what you need to do, and this is how we can get there, and start helping them take small actions to get there. Because I think a lot of times as well, people know what they want to do, but they might be scared or they don't take action, so nothing changes. And it's like, ultimately, if you want a different life, we have to do different, and it is very uncomfortable at first, but then as you start to see your life change, you're like, actually change can be a positive thing. Because I think a lot of people associate change with bad or those kind of things, but actually it's an opportunity to try and get closer to where you would like to be. And I think it's okay that you want to do that. I'm trying to currently put together some sort of like group workshop that might be like 6 to 8 weeks to help people start having this conversation with themselves, like to start being like, to rediscover who you are and what do you want, and slowly start to work through. That's what I would like to do in the next few months. And yeah, I think just get people to accept that, like as you said, it's not selfish, it's not selfish to want things for your life, and like you don't have to prioritize everyone else, and just helping people through that process I think would be great. Yeah. Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing. So, okay, you've got all these things coming up, and you're also doing this remarkable things. How do we get in contact with you to know like what dates and where to go to?
Mm. So you can find me on Instagram at sophia.lifecoach. I'm also on Facebook as Sophia Gordon Life Coach. I have a website which is www.sophiagordon.co.uk, and I'm trying to put together my LinkedIn profile as well, so you can find things on there as well. So that will be just Sophia Gordon on LinkedIn as well. Um, but yeah, all of those will have links to other places like Eventbrite where events will be, etc. Yeah.
Amazing. Thank you so much. And also wanted to ask you, what do you want to share? If this is your last message in this world, what do you want to share for everybody else? What is that message?
I think that no matter where like you kind of are right now or what's going on for you, A, you can kind of bounce back from that, but B, like it's okay to want things for yourself and to have dreams and desires, and it doesn't make you a bad person or a selfish person. But also you deserve it, I think, because I think for a long time a lot of people, why they do so much for others, is they don't believe that they deserve to be happy or they're good enough without giving back to everybody else. So you are more than enough just because you're here, and just if you operate from that space alone, it's one of like the most freeing things you can ever do. So that's what I would say and recommend.
That's beautiful. Thank you for sharing that. And is there anything that you want to tell if a person is listening right now that
Mm.
they feel that, you know what, I'm a bit nervous, yes, but at the same time, I feel that, everything is I need to change, but you know what? I don't feel that I'm ready to change
Mm,
yet.
mhm,
What
mhm.
would you say to that person?
I guess I guess it would be kind of asking yourself like what are the pros and cons, if that makes sense. So it's like, you know, if I stay as I am, what will change, what would be different? But if I was to try and do something that feels uncomfortable or step outside my comfort zone, what are the possibilities? Because we never really talk about like how things could go well. We often talk about, oh, I could fail, or I could do bad, or what if it doesn't work? But actually, what if it goes really well? And I always think, you know, to take the first step, because it is all scary. Like, you don't know what anything is going to happen, so why not just try and take the first step? Also, if you're not ready to do so, there is options that you can try and do, explore by yourself first as a self-help scenario, if you're not ready to reach out. But I think ultimately when you have someone else on side, it speeds up the process and you just feel way more ready and able and empowered to do things. So yeah.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. And I'm just so grateful and I'm so happy for you to be here and to give us this time to actually come down to ourselves and thinking in the reality, not just what we tell ourselves or what we create the stories to ourselves, but actually look at what exactly is happening in our lives and
Mm-hmm.
what do we want in ourselves or what do we want to get from other people.
Mm-hmm.
So I am so happy and I'm so grateful, Sophia. Thank you for coming and for actually being here with us
Mm-hmm.
today.
No, it's been an absolute pleasure. I really, really enjoyed it. So thank you for your time. And I can't wait to see how this platform, your platform, takes off as well. It's exciting.
It is, indeed, it is. And I've got so much big vision about it. So I would love to ask you, would you be willing to come next time?
Definitely. Definitely. Yeah, definitely. Definitely do that.
That's amazing. Thank you so much, Sophia. And for everybody else, tune in for the next one. Who's going to be our next guest? You'll have to wait and see. Take care, everybody.
Bye.